You have two options, my friend. Get rich or die broke. I will guide you to create, protect, and conserve wealth. I am Brent Bendania, Certified Investment Solicitor, Associate Wealth Planner, Associate Estate Planner of the Philippines. My mission is to enrich the minds and transform the lives of Filipinos through financial education. I am Registered Financial Planner Graduate. I am Certified Wealth Planner Graduate. And I am the owner and founder of Finance Service Desk. What's in it for you in these tutorial videos? First, you will learn the principles of the global financial system. Second, you will learn the principles of wealth creation, savings and investment. Third, you will learn the principles of protection, health finance, and insurance. Lastly, you will learn the principles of wealth conservation, estate and tax planning. After you watch this video, there should be a mechanism of action. There must be an application of what you have learned. Knowledge is useless without consistent application. Dapat may mangyari sa buhay nyo. Survey says government is the solution of the poverty in the Philippines. This is the reason why Finance Service Desk mission is to enrich the lives and transform the lives of Filipinos through financial education. We are partnering with YouLearn to reach out more Filipinos. The biggest question is, can you create a personal wealth for national progress? Who among you have an objection to become wealthy? I know all of us want to be wealthy, right? The question is, why should people need to be wealthy? The reason why people need to be wealthy because building wealth is a patriotic obligation in our country. You know what happens when people become wealthy? It affects our gross domestic product or gawa dito sa Pilipinas para mas madali niyong matandaan. GDP is the measure of all the accumulated or the total transactions in the country. I have a question. How much do you want to earn for yourself and for your family? We cannot have a mentality na hanggang dito lang ang income ko eh. We must have an abundance mentality. We must earn more. You know what? As I speak right now, there are two things happening. It is either you're getting richer or you're getting poorer. There's no neutral place in the financial system. Remember that. I keep on telling a while ago about the financial system. This is the right time that I will introduce to you the global financial system. Kilala niyo ba si Edgar Injapsia? Yes, he is the founder of Mang Inasal and chairman of Double Dragon Properties. He does not become a billionaire in selling chicken inasal. And guess what? He became a billionaire playing in the financial system. I know lahat tayo gusto nating yumaman, di ba? Dapat alamin natin kung paano gumagana ang system na ito. Because in the financial system, it is either works for you or against you. However, this is a dangerous tool. You know why? Because the system is never neutral. It's either works for you or against you. You're either getting richer or poorer. So if the system is working against you right now, you're getting poorer as I speak. We need the system working in our side, but we have to be careful because the system is the single biggest reason why there is wealth inequality. You will be shocked by this information. Financial system creates wealth inequality. The wealth of the top 1% is now more than the total wealth of the bottom 99%. It is not an accident. That's how the system is designed. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. Hindi siya patas na laban. It is a rigged game. Let me show you a video.
People are talking a lot about inequality these days, about the fact that the richest 1% have so much more than everybody else. But most of the focus seems to be on the United States, and it strikes me that the same story needs to be told about global inequality too. So I did some research, and this is what I found from reliable sources like the UN. It turns out that while the US is totally out of whack, things are actually way worse for the planet as a whole. Let's start with this graph. A perfectly even distribution of wealth among all living people, with everyone divided into 5 equal groups. Now, let's show how much each group actually has. Shocking, right? 80% of the world's people barely have any wealth. It's hard to even see them on the chart. Meanwhile, the richest 2%, they have more wealth than half of the rest of the world. Let's look at this chart another way. Let's take the whole world's population, all 7 billion of us, and reduce it to just a representative 100 individuals. Here they are, poorest people on the left, richest people on the right. Now let's show how the world's total wealth, roughly $223 trillion, is distributed. The vast majority have practically nothing. Nothing with which to educate their children, nothing with which to pay for basic medicines. While the richest 1%, they've accumulated 43% of our world's wealth. The bottom 80%, meanwhile, that's 8 out of every 10 people, have just 6% between them. But even this doesn't really show how extreme things have become. The richest 300 people on Earth have the same wealth as the poorest 3 billion. So the number of people it takes to fill a mid-sized commercial aircraft have more wealth than the populations of India, China, the US, and Brazil combined. We can also see this difference geographically, with a huge and growing gap between a few rich places versus the majority of the world. For most of history, things were much more equal. 200 years ago, rich countries were only 3 times richer than poor countries. By the end of colonialism in the 1960s, they were 35 times richer. Today, they're about 80 times richer.
Financial system was designed and created by rich people to further their wealth. There are rules in the financial system. If you don't know the rules, you can't win. How can the financial system works for you? How can you access the financial system? You may enroll now to become a coach to have a full access to this information.